What's going on, guys? No Guides here. Welcome back to another video. This will be the best team that I've used in FIFA 19. We're coming, of course, to the latter end of FIFA 19. FIFA 20 is just around the corner. I think 42 days away from the day that this video is posted. But people have always been asking me what's the best team that I've used this game. So I'll go through it. I won't use any of the unorthodox positions. For example, like, I use Team of the Year Marcelo in striker or in CDM. I'll probably stick to where they can actually play or where they should actually play just for this video purpose. We're going to go with a 4-4-2 second variation. For me, as I said when the game came out, it's the best formation, the most balanced formation, and it's probably one of the most fun. You could argue Blitzkrieg is probably up there with the 5-2-1-2, but I think for the best all-around formation, for me personally, for my style of play, I'll definitely go with a 4-4-2 second variation. So we're going to start off with the goalkeeper. In my opinion, there's two goalkeepers. De Gea and Courtois. To be honest, I've not used a new foot swap card, Courtois, but that Courtois looks insane, and I think he might be the best goalkeeper in the game. But because I probably won't finish a foot swaps of this month, I'm gonna go with De Gea. Now I think they're both equally the best two keepers in the game. Now I've used 91 De Gea, not Team of the Year or just 91, but people don't understand is with this De Gea, the reason why he's so OP is because he can save you a couple of 1v1s. It kind of comes to like a situation where if you want a goalkeeper to save a 1v1 for you, like let's say an opponent has 3 1v1s, De Gea will guarantee save 1 out of 3 of those 1v1s. He will come in clutch. But I think if you want a goalkeeper that's very good in the air, that can handle the ball well, Courtois will be the best bet. If you bring Courtois out from... If your position has a corner and you bring Courtois out from the goal using my analog stick, Courtois would probably handle that ball a bit better. So I think they're two very good goalkeepers, but I would personally go with De Gea just because the way I play, when someone has a first time shot, it's probably going to go in either way. And I think because I play quite a high line, I need someone like De Gea that can sweep the ball, especially with glove. He's the best chance of saving 1v1s, and of course he's got better kicking. So that's the goalkeeper that I would go with, but it's very close between him and Courtois. It's more of just personal preference. I want someone better in the air or better for 1v1s. Now, right back, I will go with Kyle Walker. For me, for the last 3 iterations of FIFA, this has been the best cards, or one of the best cards I've used. Yes, you can maybe say Danny Da Costa or Dumfries, but for me, Kyle Walker, 6 foot, got really good jumping. This guy is high, really good going forward, even with the 5-2-1-2. For me, he's the best. Even his agility and balance are not the best, but he can still dribble with L1 dribbling, close dribbling. So this will probably be the best right back in a game for me, in my opinion. Moving over to centre back, I've not used Team of the Year Varane. I've used it once in draft, but the one that stood out the most for me was Van Dijk. Team of the Year Van Dijk. Now, I know many of you are going to think I'm crazy. I do think he's a bit on the slow side for the way that I play. I know people are going to be like, what? With Shadow, he's slow? For the way that I play, I think he is a bit on the slow side for my style. However, in the air, there's no beating him. Maybe the only person that can maybe contest for the ball in the air is probably Cristiano Ronaldo. Apart from that, when Van Dijk's going to jump, he's going to get that ball over everyone. I think he's probably the most complete defender. The only thing that lets him down is definitely that agility and balance. It really lets him down, especially when you're trying to jockey with Van Dijk, and when he's on the ball, he feels like a truck, and that's probably one of his greatest downfalls. But he's just too much of a good defender to not put him into the team. Going with the second defender. Now this is another unorthodox picking. Is the Jeremiah. I think is I don't know how you actually say his name. St. Hughes, I'm presuming, but this card is probably the best centre-back in my opinion in the game. If you compare Van Dijk and both the centre-backs, you would see that the stats are almost identical. Van Dijk has better defending, but what is ever more apparent, as you can see, 94 agility and 79 balance. I've used this card in left-back, that's why I got an anchor on him, but I've used him with Engine, and he is probably the best centre-back. If you can somehow get him even on 8 chem, get like a Hullet link and a Van Dijk link, he is unbelievable. Is I would say honestly the best. If you haven't done him, honestly, I think a lot of people don't use him. I played this guy in CDM, I played him anyway. He's a god tier player, honestly. I think he's the best, and I think he's better than, although Van Dijk's better at heading, I think for the overall defender, I'll definitely go with him. His jockeying is formidable, and of course he's got the really good passing as well. Now left back, I'm probably going to go with Marcelo. I like my fullbacks to be attacking. Team of the Year Marcelo, as you guys probably know, is one of the best dribblers in the game that I've used. And you guys probably, if you were the original OG, you probably know I played this guy in Striker with a sniper card. He actually had so many goals for me in Striker. I played him in CDM. I played him in left mid, right mid. This is probably the only card I played every single position, par goalkeeper. The most versatile card in the game, in my opinion. Can literally play anywhere. Literally, apart from goal. That would definitely be it. Now, for the CDMs, I'll have to be honest, it's Hullet. I've used a 90 Hullet now. If you're talking about the game being paid to win, I sold him just very recently just because I wanted some cash to buy some other players back and try some new players out. But he's definitely the best card. This guy can honestly, like, I remember when I first got Hullet and I combined him with Vieira. I remember I didn't even try in a weekend league, and I had to sell some players around him, and I had to end up, I still had gold Neymar and I had foot birthday Marcelo around him, and I think I had some Eusebio and Striker. So it was still a very good team. But the most important thing is he was just so OP. He was definitely a game changer, in my opinion. You know, this guy, this trio. I mean, this duo, should I say, not trio. It's probably the best duo in the game. If you can get the prime moments, formidable. I like this card a bit better because of agility and balance. And I think he's got a bit better pace. And I have him on a shadow when I used him. But I just saw them very recently. That's why I don't have them in the club. But these two are definitely game. If I would say there's two players that could possibly carry you from gold to elite for being a goal player, I would say it's definitely Hullet and Vieira. Maybe not so much at this time of the year, but still. I preferred 88 Vieira just because of his better pace, and you can use engine with him. But his 91 is still OP. The problem with Vieira is his passing is diabolical. His dribbling is also diabolical. When he's on the ball, I'm just like, he's just shambles. His shooting is shambles, but defensively, there's no one better. You put this guy on stay back and you put this guy on balance, you got a dream team. Now, right mid, I'm going to go with Eusebio. In my opinion, probably the best. Before the team in the season came out, this guy was probably the best card I've used in the game. I used him with Hawk. His stats don't really speak too much because I kind of moved him to the right mid position. Doesn't obviously score as much goals. Probably one of the best shots in the game, in my opinion. I would say the joint third best player in the game for me that I've used, especially in a strike and in midfield positions. He is joint midfield with Ben Yedder. I think they're both very good cards. I would choose Ben Yedder over him for the simple reason, Team of the Year Ben Yedder, of course. For the simple reason is his dribbling is unbelievable. This Team of the Year Ben Yedder, his dribbling, it costs 140k now. That's the biggest joke. I went for 1.5, but obviously because of the market crash. 5-star weak foot, 4-star skills for both players respectively, very important. But it is the fact that for some reason Eusebio just doesn't feel good for dribbling. His dribbling's not that good. He can still head of the ball. But that's why I think Ben Yedder trumps him. I think maybe it's because it's probably to do with the height and obviously a 99 agility and 98 balance naturally. But his dribbling is probably one of the top dribblers out there, top two dribblers I would say in the game. Now moving on to the striker positions. The first one is one that you'll probably be like, what? It's Heung-min Son. This card I've always used year in, year out. He's always been a god tier player for me because also he's 5-star, 4-star is probably a recurring thing that you would see in his team. However, I've used him with engine. He's actually quite good. His dribbling is not the best because he's quite a tall player, but he's clinical. He is, I think, possibly the best shot. Now, although the stats, 93 games, 87 goals, 47 assists, don't seem amazing, he actually at one point had a 2-to-1 ratio, but as obviously latter end of FIFA, I've just been messing around, trying out a new card, so his stats have gone down. But I think he's probably the first card I've used in this game that has had probably more goals, way more goals, almost double than games played. Just to give you some insight, I've always been a fan of Son. I have the legacy version of Son in my club. I bought him with on the first week. This is the player that I bought. I sold my entire team to buy this card. Look at those stats. They speak for itself. He carried me to the high elites, the very high elites. When I was, I think one week when I was 26-1 or something like that, this guy carried me throughout that whole week. So definitely him in the team. And the last and final player for me has to be the best player I think I've used in any FIFA iteration. It's Neymar. Now, I think the gold Neymar is probably the best card in the game. I think no questions asked. That gold Neymar is probably the best card in the game. However, I think even this gold Neymar can probably still get into most squads at this stage of FIFA. To be honest, he's honestly incredible. But I'll be honest, I've used his team of the year, not his team of the season. Unfortunately, I can't afford him just yet. But I think I'm near about getting enough coins. But I've used this team of the year card. It is by far the best card I've used in the game. 5-star, dribbling, formidable, high medium, 5'9". On the ball, he's incredible. You put an engine on him, it becomes even better than he is normally. Finishing, no questions asked. Either foot he's going to score. Acceleration and sprint speed, no questions asked. Now, strength and aggression, people can argue is an issue. When you put a finisher or marksman on him, he is definitely, in my opinion, the best card in the game. I would honestly, even if I couldn't afford the Team of the Year version, I would have gold Neymar in this team for sure, or team of the group stage. This guy is the best card I think I've used in any FIFA iteration, and he is the meaning of pay to win, because I don't think there's a card that comes close. I've been saying this since the game came out. Neymar is the best gold card in the game, but for sure this is the best card in the game. Any foot, left foot, right foot. I don't header personally. I think if you're someone like headers, you might find Havertz to be above Neymar, but for me personally, it's got to be Neymar, and that's pretty much my ultimate team. Managers doesn't really mean anything, but I'll probably go with Pep, obviously, because I wouldn't say he plays similar, but I like his kind of ideologies in terms of football pitch. But that is my ultimate team. I do have some legacy players, as I said, that are still in my club. Most notably, some of them are untradeable. Some players that I've used since the beginning of the game. If you are interested, these are the players which have been used a lot. So we're going to go first with where's the first card? Florenzi. This guy, formidable. Used him in CDM. Probably one of the best cards I think in the game. This Florenzi card. I won't even lie. When the game came out, I did his SBC. Used him in left back, right back. CDM. He was formidable. He was like a mini Hullet, like a short version of Hullet. Really class card. Juan Fran definitely gets the honourable mention. I'm just going to put some of the few players that I think were the standout players for me this year. Juan Fran, I use this guy when I think he's played the most games for my club. He was a bit slow for me towards after, I would say, May time against team and season plays, but I do not regret this SBC one bit. One of the best cards. Use him left back, right back, CDM again. Kieran Tierney, another card. If you're original OG, this guy played CDM for me, and he used to come off the bench on 4 chemistry. Unbelievable card as well. Unbelievable. This guy would definitely probably get in my sub bench. And in Babu, I would say over Kyle Walker is a better defensive right back in my opinion. I just think he's just a bit better just defensively. Especially his dribbling as well. It feels, although he does look like he's got a bigger built-in game. So he's quite better heading the ball, I did find. For attackers, I'll probably go with Vinicius Junior, another card that I use very late onto the game. But he's a very class card. You know, this guy was unbelievable when I used him in the Future Stars version. No questions asked. His dribbling was second to none. And this for the 2 last remaining cards. There isn't that many legacy players in the game that I've really used when the game came out. I would probably I would say it's a kind of a debatable one, but I really enjoyed when I did have him was Kante. He's such a class card. I really enjoyed him so much. He was such a good card for me. I use a normal Kante. I think if I get the Team of the Year Kante, he would be the only person that would go in front of Vieira. Just because of the fact he's obviously got better agility and balance. He's very small. He's a small player, and obviously on the ball he just feels amazing. He's very agile, and defensively he's god-tier player. And the final card, there's only one card that I cannot disrespect, is Nedved. This card, for me, is not the prime. It's not. I used the baby card. It was unbelievable. For me, it's not the prime Nedved, because the prime Nedved, his composure is 84. And that for me is a big issue. Also the sprint speed. That's why I prefer the I think it's the middle Nedved. If you're original OG as well, you'll know this card. Unbelievable card. 90 composure, better sprint speed. I use this guy with a hunter. Honestly, next FIFA, I'm gonna get this guy back in the team again. Another guy with a 5-star, 4-star. As you can probably imagine, a lot of my logic is I try to have a 5-star weak footers in my attacking force. That's my logic, generally speaking. And the midfield, they're there to push the ball forward, and the kind of the left back and right back are more attacking wing backs, and the centre backs basically. These guys are only there as sweepers. They're not actual centre backs. They're there to set the play up. That's why I've used players like out of position in centre back role, because I like my centre backs to be good with the ball. Essentially, my whole idea where the way I play FIFA is these guys bring the ball forward. They play very high up the pitch. If I get counter attack, I need someone who's got high pace to cover. The left back and right back are good for the overloads. The left mid and the right mids are there to go down the wing, cut inside, and pass the ball back to my CDMs. These players then pass the ball to my strikers, and then with my strikers I would either do a skill move, or I'll use L1 dribbling, or I would link up with either one of the players, like the left mid and right mid. And because obviously you've got a 5-star weak foot, they can shoot with either foot, and that's kind of my logic. That's kind of my team, to be honest. As I said, this would probably be the best team that I've used in the game. I wouldn't replace anyone. It would be interesting to know what your best players, or what would you change in the game. I think I'll probably leave, even though I've not used Kante, I'll probably leave Kante in there, because I think over Vieira, although Vieira is longer and he can probably have a longer reach when defending, I think Kante is just on the ball. He's amazing, and of course he can shoot as well. Anyway guys, thank you very much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and FIFA 20 just around the corner. Videos will be coming out more often, and take it easy, boys. It'll be interesting to know your teams as well. So let me know in the comment section down below what your favourite players or team is, or your best player in the game is. Anyway, boys, thank you very much for watching. Take it easy, and I'll catch you in the next one.